lock the meeting and no one can join. All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're going to mute everybody except for the host, so I'm going to mute all. But you will be able to unmute yourself if we need to talk to you. So welcome to the third episode of Tech for Seniors. I want to introduce Huey Popluck, my co-host. Most of you know Huey Wave, and of course you know me. And I want to also introduce Bob G, who is running our security services here. So if you're not behaving, Bob is a tough guy. Where's Bob? Say hello, Bob. Wave your hand. He's a tough guy and he's going to kick you out, right, Bob?
That's the general idea.
So he runs a vast security, so he's gonna keep an eye on everybody. So we should have a safe meeting, and hopefully everybody will have some fun. So this is Tech for Seniors. It is the 13th of April, and we're going to have a fun hour. Hopefully everybody has brought their coffee. Some of you may have donuts or whatever, and we're going to have a fun hour. Now, the format for our meetings will be for the first 15 minutes, where Huey and I will answer questions on what's going on in the world. If you send us any questions in, we'll answer those, or we'll go over some interesting news articles that we've read. So I'm going to start out, and I'll talk to. We don't really have any questions today, so I'm going to talk about a couple of things that Huey does. Yeah, Huey's got some questions, but I'll start first. I'm going to start by sharing my screen because I want to play you a video clip, which we will get up here in a second. You'll enjoy this. Just sit back and listen to it. Hopefully you can hear it fine.
Hi everybody. I didn't think I'd ever get such a response to this little tryout. Here I am in my enforced cell phone isolation, and the song that came out on top today was All I Ask of You. Gosh, all I ask is that I can play the piano properly this morning. We'll see what happens. Anyway.
So you probably all understood that was Phantom of the Opera. That was Andrew Lloyd Webber, who in response to COVID-19 decided that he personally would play that piece. After he did, and they published it on YouTube, all the members of the London Philharmonic Orchestra all recorded their own, in respect for Andrew Lloyd Webber, all recorded their own part in that song. They then sent the video clips to Andrew Lloyd Webber. He had his production company put it all together and put it out as a YouTube video for everybody to see. Now, in response, so this is really, I thought that was really cool. The orchestra as a whole all decided to participate and put their pieces together. On Thursday last week, I sent out an email to everybody on Andrew Lloyd Webber and his plans for COVID-19. And he has, from his repertoire, he has agreed to release every Friday one of his shows. And last Friday, for those of you who watched YouTube and followed the link I gave you, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar was played live. Now, these are recorded live concerts, but they are there are big audiences there, and these are going to be played on Friday afternoon around 1 o'clock, and you can watch them free of charge on his YouTube video. I watched the Jesus Christ Superstar last Friday, and it was really amazing. So it's a free service. He's doing this in response to COVID-19, and it should be great entertainment for everybody for the foreseeable future. Every Friday afternoon, there'll be a new show, and I would encourage you to use to have YouTube on your TV and watch it. It's really good. All right, Huey, you're next. Do you want to? You're up. I've done my 7 minutes.
Okay, before I do that, what I want to do is, for those of you who can see my picture, I got a new toy today, and I'm going to push the button to turn it on, and it gives a much better picture. What I ordered was one of those no, they're not neon, they're LED round lights. I've got it behind my monitor now, so I have light shining on my face, and it allows me to, so you can see me better. And when I go to put a background on now, let's go ahead and jump in the pool. I'm a lot clearer, and a lot of me is not disappearing by having the light in front of me going to me. Without it, let's see what it does. You can see that it makes a big difference.
It does. Wow.
And I forgot what I paid for it. I looked at so many of them. I think it was around 50 bucks. It's got a tripod, and it's actually sitting on the desk, and it's going up above the monitor. And hopefully it's going to work well. It also comes with a little holder. You can put an iPhone in the middle of the light. And so if you want to use, for instance, an iPhone or an Android phone, it's got a holder for it and a remote that you can turn it on and off and have it look. So that works. It looks like it's going to work well. I don't want to have a background to distract you here. So one other thing, yesterday there was a question on my meeting of why some of us had 49 on a screen and some had 25 on a screen. It requires at least an i7 chip for it to have 49. So if you're only getting 25 when you're in gallery view, you're only getting 25, it's because you have either an i3 or an i5 or a different chip, and it doesn't have the speed of an i7. So that's where the difference is, Ron. So let's see. Now I want to share my screen. And I'll share the whole screen. And do I need the sound? No, let's leave that alone. And you're seeing my desktop. I'm going to, whoops, I should have, let's turn it back on again. I double click and my screen goes away and comes back. And it's this one as I want. Come on. Come on, we're on limited time. I want you to work fast. Computers never work fast when you want them to. And I'll full screen it. There we go. All right. Last week I didn't get to this because I had a issue that I had to take care of. Oh, good. Now somebody wants to call me in the middle of unknown. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, this came from Jerry. And Jerry said, please explain Spellcheck's behavior and Gmail on a Chromebook. It appears that when a spelling error occurs, Spellcheck will auto-correct some words and insert dots between that, beneath that word to advise you the correction was made, while other times it simply inserts a squiggly red line underneath and makes no corrections and has no corrections. And what does the advanced spell check do for me? So I thought I'd try to figure out what he meant and answer it, and then give you a little bit more information. So this is what he's talking about. In Gmail, if you're writing a message, you misspell something, and it puts the red squiggly line under it. If you I typed in RECIEVED, and it immediately fixed it, and then put the dots. Now, if you're a speed typist and you don't look at the screen, you're probably never going to see that, because as soon as it got a couple of words past that, the dots disappear. But if you're like me and you have to watch the screen and the keyboard at the same time, I saw the dots, I grabbed the screen, and I grabbed it. So it was auto-corrected there. The other one didn't, and it is a misspelling. And, well, let's go back to it. I thought I had a screen capture of it but if you then right mouse click, it'll give you the choice, and you go ahead and click it, and it changes the spelling to be what is correct. Now, as far as the advanced enhanced spell check, it uses the same spell checker that's used in Google search. The text you type in the browser is sent to Google, and it comes back with an answer. So that's the only thing about it that's enhanced. It may give you some more answers. Also, you can add and edit custom spellings by selecting the respective option at the bottom of the list. Basically, you can add words to Google's default dictionary, which is handy for names or technical terms that Chrome spell check doesn't recognize. And then note 2 is you can also enable the enhanced spell checker, which will recognize other errors like a missing space or a hyphen. So you go into Settings, Advanced, go to Privacy and Security, click Sync and Google Services, and at the bottom of the list, enable the enhanced spell check. Now, I've been using Grammarly now for this past many months. And I like it a lot better than just the built-in spell checker in Google. And what I have done is I've added it to my system, and it pretty much spell checks almost everything. So here is what happens when I type this email in. You'll see that there are 3 underlines. And as I go through each one, if I put my mouse over the word test, it says, oh, I need to add an article. I need a test or the test. And because they're in green, I can choose which one, move my mouse over, click it, and it will add the word to it. Same thing with misspellings. It is a misspelling, and right under it in green is the corrected one. And if I click on it, it will then replace the one in my email. And then notice I had received spelled wrong, and it also will correct it only if I click on it. If I don't click on it, it's going to leave it the way it was. So if it's spelled, if you're writing a word that is correct, but they're seeing it as a misspelling, you can just leave it alone as well. In the past week, I got a note from Ron Brown, who told me there's something new coming out called the Microsoft Editor. So I started to look up what it was. And here's from Microsoft's page, and this was from April 4th. Bring out your best writer everywhere you write, Microsoft Editor. So last week, well, actually 2 weeks now, a new Microsoft announced a new service called Microsoft Editor. It's an AI-powered writing assistant that takes on Grammarly. Microsoft Editor helps you write with confidence in 20+ languages. And since it's a browser add-on, it'll help you whenever you're on the web, right, from writing emails to posting your story on Facebook. Now, well, let's continue on, and then I'll come back with what I was going to say. Microsoft Editor has 2 different tiers. The free edition includes basic features such as spelling and basic grammar across Word, Outlook.com, and the web. But with Microsoft 365, and notice I said Microsoft 365, and I'll talk about that in a second, and the family subscription, personal or family, you can have an advanced grammar and style refinements such as clarity, conciseness, formal language, vocabulary suggestions, and much more. Office 65 is turning into Microsoft 365 as of April 21st, so it's still a week or so away from it being totally available. Some of it is working now, sometimes it doesn't work. But I did do a couple of screen captures, but I've had it work very well in a couple instances. But by the time I thought to do a screen capture, it was gone, and I didn't know how I got to where I was. So I didn't get screen captures on those. But you'll see that there is like a pencil with the letter E connected, and that's its icon. So if you add it to your add-ons, or well, it's called add-ons, I guess. Once you activate it, that will become a blue icon, and you have to sign in with your Microsoft account sign-in. If you are an Office 365 user, it will know it. If you're not, and you just use a Microsoft account, and you do need to have a Microsoft Office account, but those are free, or a Microsoft account. Those are free, so just make sure you log in to make that work. And there are some settings. You can set it just for spelling, just for grammar, just for refinements, or turn all of them on. Or you can disable it on Google Mail if you want it. Again, this is the setup for it, and you've got a privacy. You can automatically send data to Microsoft or turn that off. You can add some sites to disable the proofing if you want, and you can show synonyms for spelling suggestions if you want as well. So here is another email where I made a couple of mistakes, and you can see what happens is it puts it over to the side, and you have to left mouse click for this to show up. But you'll see the little mark under the I, and that means, well, it should be a capital I. So if I click on that, it will turn it into a capital I. Same thing with mistake. I misspelled it. There's some possible spellings, and it also says mistake, and then it gives just a definition: error, confound, misunderstand. And if I click on that, it will change it in my email. And then at the end, when I go to all, it should be a question mark at the end. And it does show that it's Microsoft Editor. Now, as I mentioned a couple of times, when I typed in, I think it was in Facebook, I was typing something, it gave me a suggestion to make it sound better. It replaced a phrase that I used with a really good word, and it made it sound like I knew what I was talking about. So it does work, but I couldn't replicate that to do a screen capture afterwards. So I'm sorry I don't have that, but because it doesn't work every time, but I think it's because it doesn't really come out until the 21st of this month, and it may be an on-off, or they're making changes with it. So any questions about that? So what if you send a question in advance? We can do a we can do a little research and find your answer and make it a little more explanatory for you and help everybody else as well. So please, Ron, what is the email that they have to send it to?
It'll come. I'll put that in the show notes. It's on our web page.
It's on the webpage as well. So
on-
please make sure you send in questions in advance so we can do a little research on it and give you a really good answer for it. Okay,
Thank you.
Ron?
Thank you, Huey. Just to let everybody know, if you notice the screen on your machine freezes or pauses or your internet connection says it's unstable, don't do anything. Just leave it alone, and it will reconnect, and you'll be back in the Zoom meeting. Do not close your screen or fiddle with anything. Just leave it alone, and it will reconnect, and you'll be fine. Okay. So now I'm going to move into the next phase where we have a bit of a presentation.
Anne-Marie Hunt has her hand up. You're muted, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, let's move on with the presentation, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's move on. And I'm going to share my screen. And you should be able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy.
Really?
Did you have either of those boxes checked?
Yeah, maybe we don't want to check those.
You don't want to check them, no.
So,
The sound okay, but the other one is the one you want to turn off.
okay, we'll turn those on. Where did that go? Where did my box go? There we go. More. Okay. So
Yeah, boy, that make a difference.
Does that
Absolutely.
make a difference?
Nice and clear now.
All right. Now, last week we talked about your smart TV and how you make your smart TV connected to the internet. Many people who own smart TVs, and if you had a smart TV in the last 5 years, you're not connecting it to the internet. And we talked last week about some of the advantages in doing that, and particularly to get YouTube and to play, as you saw, the Android Weber connection there, and all this stuff is available on YouTube and it's free. However, I mentioned last week that although you have a smart TV, it's really not as smart as you really want, because some of the because of the apps that are on your TV, they may not be updated or as readily available as it is on what we would call these streaming devices. And there are 4 streaming devices that you can add to a smart TV. So you can actually make your smart TV real smart by adding these devices. Or if you have a TV that isn't smart and doesn't connect to the internet, these devices also can be added to it. And there are 4 types of devices that are available today, and these are in order of frequency of popularity. The first is the Roku devices made by Roku, and I talked about my TCL TV before, and these devices are automatically built into the TCL TVs. We have Amazon Fire Sticks, and these of course are made by Amazon. We have Apple Play, these are made by Apple, and we have Chromecast, and these are made by Google. Now, what do all these things mean? And I'm going to go over those with you, but the Roku devices that we're going to be talking about are available for anyone. You can put them on any TVs. They are probably the most popular of all the devices that we have. But a very close second are the Amazon Fire Sticks. And in our club this year, we gave an awful lot of Amazon Fire Sticks away as prizes. I think the Amazon Fire Stick, and we'll talk about this, is a little more technologically advanced than the Roku devices. We then have Apple Play. Apple Play, if you have a iPhone, it makes it very easy to control your Apple Play device because you can control it from your iPhone. However, Apple Play does come with a physical remote, so you don't actually have to have an iPhone to use Apple Play. Chromecast is a little bit different. Chromecast is a device made from Google, and it means that, and you now control your television through your smartphone. So to use a Chromecast device, you need a smartphone, and that's how you will control your device as it casts from the smartphone to your TV. This is not as popular as it used to be. Google probably thought it was going to compete with Roku and Fire, but really not that many people are using Chromecast, and I'm not sure what the future of Chromecast is going to be. Now, I wanted just to talk to everybody briefly about your router. Most of you will have a dual band router if you bought a router in the last 5 years. And the dual band router broadcasts in 2 frequencies. It broadcasts in 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. Now, what is the advantage of that? Well, the old standard is the 2.4 gigahertz. And the problem with that is that too many people are using it. And particularly if you're a senior and you're living in a large complex where there may be a lot of other people in the same building, they maybe all be broadcasting on 2.4 gigahertz, which causes congestion and problems. So the dual band operates on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. The 5 gigahertz is much faster. It doesn't go through buildings and it doesn't go through rooms, but and so there's less interference because it doesn't go as far. So this can actually be a big advantage when you're connecting your streaming device, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So if we look at the Roku, there are 3 models. And the base model is called the Roku Express. This is a Canadian price. You can usually pick these up for around about $25. These play well. I would not recommend getting this particular model, and I'll tell you why in a minute. They all have controls like this, and you see the Netflix, the Hulu, the Sling, and you just push these buttons and it will automatically connect you to those services. The one that I would recommend is either this one, the Roku Premier. This is, you can usually find this for around $35. This has a faster processor, and this is 4K and is pretty fast, and this is the one that I would recommend if you want a Roku product. And again, you'll see these are all voice activated, and that's what your device would look like. And the last would be the Roku streaming stick. This is the high performance one, and it's you can usually find this for around $60. Now, if you look at the next slide here, the thing that you have to look at here is if you look at, these are the devices. These are the HD. This is the HD 4K, and then this is the last one I showed you. The thing that's interesting about these devices is that is only the last one, the HD 4K HDR one, that has the dual band MIMO. MIMO means multiple in, multiple out. In other words, this particular device can actually use both 2.4 and 5 megahertz bandwidth, as in and actually makes a very good connection. It's the Amazon, which I'll show you next. They all do it. So they all have dual band MIMO, all the devices with Amazon. That's why I said Amazon devices are probably a little bit more advanced. Now, when you are thinking about should you buy an Amazon Fire Stick or should you buy a Roku device, they're pretty much the same. And I don't think you'd find any problem with either one of the two. The only thing that I want to mention is we are going to be doing some shows about Ring video doorbells. If you want, and you think in the future that you might want a Ring video doorbell, you will want it probably to connect to your TV. So when you're watching TV, someone rings the doorbell, you want Alexa to answer it, and it comes on the TV. If you are planning that, then for sure you want to get an Amazon Fire Stick for your TV, but you can't do that with a Roku device. So if you're thinking along Amazon line, you're thinking about a Ring doorbell, then you probably will want to go with the Fire Stick. There are 3, again, devices for your Fire Stick. There's the baseline, which is the 39. This again, we've bought a lot and gave a lot of these away of door prizes this year, and you can usually get these on sale for around $25. This is the Amazon TV stick. This is the 4K version. Again, this is usually we can find these around for $35. and this is the 4K, and I would recommend this particular model because it has a faster processor. And then, of course, they have the Fire TV Cube, which is the advanced streaming player that Amazon has. If you look again and you look at the difference between the Roku brands and the Fire Stick, and this is why I say these are probably a little more advanced. All three versions, all the Fire Stick, the 4K. If you look at this article here, these are all dual band MIMO, so they will multiple in, multiple out, and they will all run on 2.4 and 5 megahertz. So so that makes these very good. These are all very good products. We then have Apple TV, and if we get some time at the end, we might get Gordy Belwig, who runs our Apple SIG, to say something. These are very good products. They tend to be a little bit more. This is a Canadian price, but these devices work very well, particularly if you have an iPhone and they cast your iPhone onto your Apple TV. We have these at our club, and the Apple SIG group uses these all the time to project onto the TV. So there are some advantages, a little more money. You have to look at that and see if that fits your needs. And again, the last one is the Chromecast. Now I have all these devices. I have a Chromecast Ultra, and I do use it. But the problem with the Chromecast is this. The Chromecast is a device where it's going to make your TV smart, just as the other ones do, and you're going to control this through an app on your phone. So in order to make the thing work, you have to use an app on your phone. Well, I have 4 TVs in my house. I don't always have my phone with me. Gail sometimes watches TV, and then I watch on another TV, and she never has her phone. So having a phone as a controller for a TV just doesn't work well for me personally. It certainly would if you had maybe one TV and you always had your phone with you. Maybe the younger people use this more, but it doesn't have a lot of appeal for me. But it does work well, and we do have them again in our computer lab as well. So again, those are the 4 streaming devices that we have. We have the Roku device, we have the Fire TV sticks, we have Apple Play, and we have the Chromecast. So, how are we doing for time? 9:35, there we go. That's my presentation.
Ron,
Yes.
how about the one that Microsoft makes? It also has one that will cast. And I have that in some of the clubs where I've done presentations. They have a great big wall-mounted TV, and they have the device from Microsoft. And if you have a Windows 10 computer, you don't need anything on yours because all you do is select the cast.
Right. That's probably the Miracast. You're probably talking about the
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the Miracast is not really a streaming service for all your videos. This really what this talk was about was the streaming services for all the apps and all the television services that you can get. Where the Miracast is just an app just to
strictly for your computer to your TV.
That's right. Huey, are you ready to go?
Yeah, yes.
Ron?
Somebody's got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron, this is Gordy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just a couple of comments about Apple TV.
Right. Gordy is our Apple SIG expert, so he's done lots of shows on this. So yeah, Gordy, I'm interested in your comments.
Yeah, I actually purchased an Apple TV several months ago. I bought it because our TV in Mesa at Silver Ridge is a widescreen high-def TV, but it's a dumb TV. It's not a smart TV like the TVs that you buy in the last few years. So this gave it the ability to be like a smart TV, right, where you can look for other streaming services like Netflix and YouTube. I found it to be, if you are heavy into Apple products, iPhones, iPads, and the like, it really plays well together. The ecosystem is very nice. It is a bit more pricey, as most Apple products are, but I'm happy with the purchase. It also comes with the first year of Apple TV Plus. That's Apple's TV streaming service, similar to what Netflix is. Of course, doesn't have that much content, but it is building up its content, and that comes free, and that's $60, $5 a month for 12 months. So that's included.
Okay, thank you.
Also,
Thank you very much, Greg.
let me add one thing to that, what Gordy said. In addition to the free year of subscription service, if you buy a current Apple product, it also, the reason I like it is because it has the NFL Sunday ticket. But guess what? You can't use the ticket if they have the virus around. Sorry about that.
All right, Huey, let's get on with your your part of the show here.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what to do, and let me share my screen.
You've got 10 minutes. We'll give you 10 minutes.
Okay, and hang on one second. I got to do one thing first, so you don't see my password. And that's an ad, so I need to get rid of that. Okay, there we go. All right, so I need to share my screen. And let me turn this away because I did look up the address. So what I wanted to do was to see, when I do presentations, I can plug my phone directly into my projector, and you can see my phone on the screen. And I thought there was a way in which you could do that easily on my computer. And I was trying to find a way to do it. And all the ways that I thought were going to be easy weren't. But I was able to download some software called VISOR on both my Windows. It is available for Macs. And then you can also put it on either an iPhone, an iPad, or an Android. I've got it on my Android. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open it up. In fact, I think I got it open. No, I did. Yep, I got it open. Now I just clicked it again. So I'm going to go here and cancel. And you should be seeing my Samsung Galaxy 8 Plus. Can you all see that?
Pretty cool.
Okay, now I can go across. So I can demonstrate anything on my Android phone for you, and I understand that there is also a way I can do this, and I will, between now and next week, do that for my iPhone and my iPad. And so when there are questions about some of those items, I can demonstrate it and show you. So I thought one of the things I talked about, and I keep talking about it, so I guess you'll think I kind of like the device or the program, but I think I mentioned I have a program called Simple Note. I'm going to open up the Windows version and put it next to my phone on my screen. It should open up here. Did I click it? Yeah, it's coming up. Got a lot happening on my system. I think it is. Well, let's do it again. Hopefully it's going to, yeah, here it comes. Okay, so let's see here. I got an article. I'll find something that's Zoom meeting. Okay, no, I don't want that. Okay, here's some notes that I had for the last meeting. So I've got something here, and I want to open up on my phone. Oh, it's back on, I think it's on my first page. And there's Simple Notes. I'm going to open up Simple Note here. You'll see it's the same article. So I'm going to say I want to start a new article. Notice as soon as I did that on my PC, it came up with new note. So it's already expecting it. So if I say, I have to type with one finger and one hand, this is a test. You'll see it's already started here, and there it is on my PC already. That's why I like this program. So anytime I want to send something over to my PC or to my iPad or my iPhone, I just run Simple Note, and as soon as I type it in on one, it's available on all of them, and I don't have to save anything. It's there. So if I close Simple Note, it's going to be there. And I have a Ring doorbell, so my phone's telling me there's a motion out in front. So so we won't pay any attention to that right now. And the other thing I wanted to demonstrate for you, notice I got a lot of pages, and not all of them are full. And that's just in the one view. And then if I go to the other view, they have an ad. So I just click out of it. And if I go like this, I've got pages of icons, as you can tell. Now, what if I've got one page here that's got one item on it? I want to move it over. So all I have to do is there's the ad again. And I push and hold, and then while I'm holding it, I move it over here. Well, let's move it back to this page right here, and I'm going to put it right here. And that's it. So I've now moved it. That other screen is still there in blank, but the next time I start up the phone, or if I go off and come back on, because there's nothing on that page won't be there anymore. So I can make things concise. I can move things around and on your phone. And I think that's something that you want to do on a regular basis, to have things where you want them, especially like on the first page. I like to have my camera available. I want my Gmail. Now I've got Gmail on a few accounts set up in different places. So if I go to the one, it will open up one Gmail account, and let's see, whoops. Oh, come on. If I go over here and go in here, I've got another M for Gmail. That's set up with a different Gmail account. So I can go to either one of them. There's probably a way to have both of them on one, but I don't do that.
There is.
Is there a question?
No, I just said there is a way to combine both of them.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. But sometimes it's just easier for me to do it this way. I saw there was something in the chat. Did you guys check to see if there's anything for me for this, what I'm doing? So while I'm showing, let's see, what other things here can I show you? Just want to see. Oh, CardStar is a program that I use, and what it does, it stores all those little things that you get to put on your keychain. Let's see, one that I don't use at all and I don't care about. Okay, this one. It puts on, you type in the numbers, or you can scan, and it'll put in the code. So as I go up to the cash register and they say, I've got a frequent flyer card for that particular restaurant or that particular store, I don't have to go rummaging through, and I don't have to carry a ton of them on my keychain. I just hold that up to their machine, and it scans it just like I had the card. And I can add several of those, as you can see, and they have a whole bunch more that I don't have in there. But you can see I've got a bunch of those little cards. If I carried all those little cards on my keychain, it would weigh me down. So this way, it's all right there. So I find that little program is called CardStar, and I don't pay for it. So I never did. I don't think I ever paid for it. So I think it's free. Trying to think what else I have here that might be of interest to somebody.
Show them how to make a folder.
I'm sorry?
Show them how to make a folder.
Okay. You're talking about with it. So it looks like, let's see. So it looks like this. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, drag one on top of the other.
Yeah.
And it'll make
Yeah, all you have to do is drag one on top of the other, and then I'll have to remember to undo that later. So let's come over here. Let's take Yelp, And I'm going to move it up here, and then I'm going to take news break and put it right with this, slide it up. Now, let's see. Come on. Put the two of them together. Now, all of a sudden, I got a folder.
Right.
And you can name the folder.
And you can name it
Right.
to test.
Well, thank you, Huey. We have 10 minutes left.
Okay, let me stop sharing. But anyway, we can do this with an iPad or an iPhone in coming weeks, and demonstrate some things other than on a PC or a Mac, or maybe answer some questions that way. So if you've got questions on some of these things, please send them in. I did put the address, and Ron did as well, in the chat box to send questions for us, and please do. Stump the stars.
Right. Now, this is the last, the whole point of doing the Zoom meeting is that we can talk amongst ourselves and see how our weeks are going. The last 10 minutes, we're going to be able to open the mic up, and I'd like someone, if you want to tell us a great movie, something interesting you've done. Jerry, where is Jerry's going to, Jerry sent me a picture of his kitchen, and he's gardening is amazing in this stressful time we have. Jerry, where are you? Where's Jerry?
Is that Jerry Arbez?
Yeah.
I'll unmute him.
Unmute Jerry.
It won't let me. He may not have a microphone.
Usually Jerry does.
I'm clicking on mute and it's not working.
Okay.
Are you there?
I'm right here.
Tell us about you sent me that picture of your gardening in your kitchen. Tell me what you're doing.
Well, I guess when we got back from Silver Ridge on March 22nd and had to self-isolate in our new apartment here, in order to stop from going crazy, I decided that I would plant some tomatoes in the dining room in front of the big picture window there in the dining room. And I had some grow lights stored at my daughter's in my daughter's garage, so I got those all set up. And the other thing that happened is last summer, as I visited friends and again at my daughter's garden, when I encountered a tomato that I really liked the flavor or the sweetness or whatever, I kept one and harvested the seeds. So when I got back here, I pulled out my old seed tray and I found that I had 8 different varieties of tomatoes, probably a good half of which the seeds I had harvested myself. So not being sure how, if these things would grow or germinate, whatever, I planted lots of them in a tray. And wouldn't you know it, the things all grew, and I found myself with 200 beautiful tomato plants here, and started to transplant them into individual pots and what have you. And yeah, my wife is very pleased that we have a tomato farm in our dining room. But spent a lot of hours doing this, killed a lot of time, and yeah, kept my sanity. Have you got those pics there, Ron?
Yeah, just hold on a sec. Did I?
Or maybe I could just walk my laptop over there.
Okay.
You gotta love this technology to be able to do all of this.
So, hey, not sure.
You got to move it down a little bit.
Down a bit, and you know what? It's probably pretty bright there right in front of the window. Here, I'll move one of these grow lights over, but can you see those now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't be shy. Put in your orders for tomatoes here, man. I've got them coming out of my Gigi.
Are you sure those are tomatoes?
Are you sure those are tomatoes?
I wish I had some of those other magic seeds, but I didn't get to harvest any of those. So, yeah. Not sure what I'm going to do with all these tomatoes. Like I said, I live in an apartment here now and don't even have a garden. But I'm sure we'll find somebody that's willing to take them off my hands here as the season gets a little closer to planting time.
Where are you from, Jerry? Where are you located? Can we come over and get some?
So if you're kind of slipping by Winnipeg, no problems. Stop by and we'll get you fixed up. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Does anyone else have anything to say? Just wave your hand and we'll unmute you. And yes, Carlene. Hold on, Carlene. We'll we'll unmute you here. Can you just, there we go. Hold on. Okay, you should be, Carlene, you can speak now.
Okay, thanks for letting us join your meeting from Oklahoma City. But I have a question. Since we have all this time on our hands, I've self-taught stuff to myself about computers, and maybe somebody could make a list of good YouTube channels that, for example, if I wanted to figure out more stuff on files and Microsoft, or does the computer clubs, do they have a good references that we could look at to self-learn on YouTube?
So Carlene, the answer to that question is if you go on YouTube and do a search, not a search on, don't do a Google search, go actually on YouTube and do a search for anything you want. You'll find a list of all those videos you want, right? And so that would be the best way. And when you find a video that's interesting, oftentimes there's a playlist associated with that gives you all sorts of other videos that are related. So it's very easy to do right within YouTube. I think that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, and use some terms that might help you would be file manager. If are your Windows, just nod your head. Are you Windows? Okay. File manager, storing files, but file manager is probably the best thing. And then put Windows after it, or Windows 10, and that'll help you zone in on ones that will work the best. Would you also make sure you put in Windows 10 if that's what you use, because you may find information about file managers in Windows 3 or 4 or something, or Windows 95 that may not work as well for you.
Okay, well, thank you again for letting us join from Oklahoma.
You're most welcome. Most welcome. Anybody else? Just put up your hand. We have about 4 minutes. Dewey, you always have something to say.
Actually, I got too much to say, I think.
No, Dewey.
Dewey. Yeah, where's Dewey? There he is.
I'm right here. I have a whole list of things, but it's not well enough organized for the meeting, so maybe I'll take you separately, okay?
Okay. All right, that's good. Anybody else just want to tell us how you're doing? Wave your hand and we'll unmute you. Otherwise, you're just going to get to listen to Huey and I.
Ron?
Yeah.
Chris here.
Yeah, Chris.
How do you put the virtual background in the Zoom? Where is the button and what is it called?
So if you come down to, now are you using a PC?
Are you kidding? Chromebook.
Chromebook, yeah, right. Yeah, you're using a Chromebook. So if you come down, do you have the bar at the bottom when you bring your screen?
Yes.
Okay, go over to the left until you see the video, and you'll see your video. It says stop video mute. Do you have that there on your Chromebook?
I have stop video and a little arrow going up, but I only have two choices.
That's right. So on the stop video on the right side there, the little arrow going up, click that, and then you'll see at the bottom there it says choose virtual background.
No, I don't.
It's not an option there?
No, the only thing I get when I hit the arrow is video settings and 720 HD camera. So if I go to video settings, it's the only option I have, it looked like.
Right. It doesn't say choose virtual background.
Then
It isn't powerful enough to do
Yeah.
a virtual background.
That's right. So you don't have that option on a Chromebook because it's just not a powerful enough machine.
The processor has to be at least a i5
Right.
compatible or same strength as an i5. If it doesn't have that capabilities, it can't maintain a virtual background.
So
All
Chris,
right, thank you.
Chris, I can solve your problem for you because when I get back down to Mesa in October, I'll sell you my Pixelbook because I'm already looking at a new machine, and the Pixelbook has an i5, and you'll be really happy with it.
Sold.
You can also get an integrated video card.
Yeah. What's that?
I said you can also get an integrated video card like Nevada.
Right.
That'll take care of the video rendering.
Okay, everyone. An hour's gone by so fast. It's over. Another week. Tech for Seniors is done. It's now 9 o'clock. I just want to remind everybody that this is being recorded. And as with the last meeting, it will be on our website, and I'll be sending out the link to everybody. There are a couple of videos I did not get a chance to show today, and I'll put them in the meeting links for the show. And so you can, particularly one of them was on advanced settings for your Roku and how you can get more information out of it. And Chris Rosinski, who we just talked to, is an expert on this, and he said he really enjoyed and learned a lot from the video. So it is an excellent video, and I'll put the links in there. Till next week, I want everyone to stay healthy, happy. I think we had a good meeting. Hey, what do you think, Huey? It was a meeting. Okay?
Great. I did a couple of screen captures. If anybody doesn't want their picture posted, let me know, and I'll black it out or gray it out of the picture. You may not be in them anyway, but some people don't like that. But I was able to get a couple of screen captures of all of us on the screen, but since there's 3 screenfuls of us, not everybody will be in it.
I have had some email from people. I've had a couple of email that have come in already saying they tried to enter the meeting was locked. Please, 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 you must be on time. At 9 o'clock, we lock the meeting, and you cannot come in after 9 o'clock. So please, in that half hour, be on time, because we won't be allowing anybody in. But we had about 52 participants today. It was great. I had a great time, and I look forward to next week when we'll see you all again.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy. Stay safe.
6 feet, remember.